Good morning, everybody. Mark Lampinen is my name. I've been a rep selling wall side windows for about 33 years now. Prior to selling wall side windows, I was in the car business. I was a sales manager, sales trainer for the Bill Cook Automotive Group. So that's kind of been my background. Prior to that, I was in the military. I was in the Air Force. So it's been my honor to be with this company for that long. And it's just a dynamic company. It's a family owned and operated company. And that family story really is our strength. So these are very, very strange times that we're dealing with right now. I mean, we've never had issues like we do right now. It's kind of the biggest issue we've ever had to deal with in sales. Imagine this 8.5-month lead time. How are we able to sell with such an obstacle in front of us? Well, it's all about relationships. It's all about building value, connecting with the customer. And here's how I've been able to do it. So basically, we focus always when we go into a customer's house, think about what advantage do we have going in that front door that our competitors don't have? And that's our family history. Our family-owned company, the values Wallside has, giving back to the community. I do share those thoughts with customers from time to time, how we've rebuilt a park in Detroit, Stewart's donation to the Beaumont Hospital, giving back, connected, committed to the Detroit community. The track record our company has, the nearly 80 years in this town, family owned and operated, such a rich history. The fact that we honor our guarantee 35 years, 100%, no proration. Are you kidding me? Most guarantees today, you get to the 10-year point, I always share with the customers, there's a huge drop off in what's covered, okay? So we're 35 years and it transfers no matter who lives in the house. It's an amazing guarantee. So I always share that. That's a significant strength that we have walking in the front door. Of course, when we walk in the front door, we've been gifted with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. And the most basic sales training anybody's ever been to, Matt De La Cruz or anybody else, you've been given 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Use them in proportion and you'll be okay. So I'm always in observation mode. I'm always listening, because in the initial minutes when you're with the customer, introducing yourself, making, I always look for something to compliment them about it on their house. There might be their landscaping or whatever. How did you hear about us? That always comes up first. I want to know, were they referred by a family member, that type of thing? And we get into, I get to work right away. Basically, I don't waste a lot of time in the initial part of it. So people appreciate that I'm not real long-winded, There's a lot of great conversationalists out there of any sales organization that I've ever been a part of, and they're not necessarily the best salespeople. The best salespeople know when to listen and use the information received to help sell or seal the deal, okay? So my goal when I walk in the front door is really never ultimately, of course, I'm in sales. I want to sell windows, right? And I have done so successfully for such a long time. My focus is on helping the individual find out what their needs are, solve their needs, and I make money in the process and everybody's happy. So I get right to work when I'm in the house. I get my tape measure out after the initial introductions, find out what they're looking to get done, and I get busy measuring. Now, while I'm measuring, I use that time to establish rapport. My eyes are open, my ears are open. I'm looking, I see the golf putter in the corner. I see the picture of the boat on the wall, or whatever we can talk about. We have something in common. By the time we get back to the dining room table, we have some connection made. And that makes it a better sales environment. Jenny and I were just in Chicago last week. We went and seen the famous Filipino comedian Jokoy, Jokoy. He's got 2 comedian shows on Netflix. If you haven't seen him, watch him. He's a funny guy. But I was admiring how he worked the crowd. And he played off of the crowd. and he interweaved his comedy through what he was picking up from the crowd. So it's kind of the same way that I sell. I learn about the customer's needs and wants. I learn about what they're into, and that's kind of how I adapt. I don't think I've ever done a sales presentation the same way ever. It's always adapting and relating to who I'm talking to. Okay. So at some point, whether it's initially or it's towards the end of the measuring, I'll look at them and I'll say, did our office happen to tell you about the length or the lead time, the installation time? And they always say no, or sometimes they say, yeah, we've heard it's long. I'll say, yeah, this is going to be a project for next July, 8.5 months from now. They go, what? Oh my God. Oh my. I said, yeah, it's the whole supply chain issue. I said, we've got issues with everybody. Our caulk supplier, we can't get the caulk, screens, glass, our personnel in the factory, the whole supply chain, everybody's dealing with it in every walk of life. And ultimately, they'll respond with their own story. So I had a customer a couple weeks ago, was a commercial painter. He goes, yeah, we can't get the dyes right now that we need to make our mixes and everything else. Everybody's got there. There was a customer that had a refrigerator ordered in January, and it's September when I was there, and she still didn't have it. So everybody's relating to that story. Now, what just happened? We took the biggest, largest negative that we've ever dealt with in sales of wall side windows, 8.5 month wait time. And we turned it into a shared experience. We're all dealing with the same thing. Now we're all in the boat rowing together, okay? So the negativity of that lead time has somewhat been removed. Every lead that I run at Wallside, it could be one window, it could be 30 windows, gets my full respect. And I'll give you an example. My garage has somewhat of an entertainment center, like you've seen in a lot of houses. People are converting their garage to living spaces. So I'm like that. I have a flat screen TV. I've got a refrigerator. I've got finish coat painted, artwork on the walls. I've got a heater. I've got an air filter. So we're grilling out there. We got the game on. We entertain quite a bit. And so we had an electrical plug that was kept blowing, and the game would die, in the middle of a key moment, and it would go out. So I called an electrical company to come out, because I know enough to know that I don't know. When it comes to electricity, I write the check. So the guy comes out and pulls up in his truck. He walks up, and I told him it's an electrical plug that keeps popping. And when he found out that he drove to my house for one electrical outlet, you could see his physical disappointment. His shoulders slumped. It was like he was, and it was like he didn't realize that plug was really important to me, So obviously I didn't do business with that individual. I called someone else, got it fixed, and we were back in business. So even though it's a one window lead or a 3-window lead, you know what? Those windows are real important to that person. They need help. And that's what we're there for. And everybody gets the heat lamp presentation. Now, the only time I don't use the heat lamp is if it's my previous customer, okay? We put them in 6 months ago, now they want the rest of the house. That type of thing, that situation. It could be the house flipper that is buying, flipping the house, that type of thing. We're not doing a whole lot of that business right now with the lead time, but that type of person is basically going to be an Energy Star presentation. But the key to the heat lamp is that you get the customer emotionally involved. It gets them excited. There's probably some of us that think that our prices are too high. We've raised our prices too much. We can't sell. How can we sell with this price? Oh my God. No, our prices are still the best value in Metro Detroit. And they always have been. And I feel they always will be. Okay. Yes, we've raised prices as we've needed to. But I mean, WeatherGuard right now, they're double our price. They're double. The closest I've seen to our price with WeatherGuard right now is they were 75% higher. So they've taken a different kind of attitude about this whole thing, and they've raised their prices way up, and they're gonna sell less for more money, and then that's their approach. And that's never been Wallside's approach. Wallside has always wanted to be the best value in this town, putting more people to work, benefiting more of the population. So the heat lamp, it's a glue. It's going to hold your deal together, first of all, for 8 months, okay? Because they can see the value. The way that I use it, I'm not going to show it physically, but you can see right here, actually, this is a brand new kit. Thank you, David. Thank you, David Ball, the 2 days. About every 2 years, I've got to call up Dave. In the past, Steve Rivard, God bless him, and say, hey, I need another light kit. I use it so much that the foam disintegrates in my light kit, and it just starts falling apart. So about every 2 years, I have to call in to get a new kit. So the way I use it, I get the, obviously this is the counter, my kitchen, the island, and it's kind of where the magic happens, or it could be the dining table, coffee table, whatever you can do, the back of a sofa, wherever. But make sure you get the heat lamp in. And I just call them all over. And if the family is there, if the kids are there, it's a real bonus. I get them involved. Hey kids, you want to come on over and learn about glass? Come on over, let's see. I pull out the heat lamp. Hey kids, where you've seen this light before? McDonald's, keeping your French fries warm. And yeah. So, I pull out the first piece of glass, and I don't even mention that it's clear. I just say, this is going to probably feel pretty familiar to you. Feel that, and they feel it. Oh yeah, I know that. But most people, their windows are pretty bad, or maybe it's a level of replacement window double pane that's from 20 or 25 years ago, single coat low E, something like that. So they're going to have felt the significant heat coming through there. So the next one I'll say, now this is the current Energy Star level recommended by the EPA for Michigan. So you're going to feel a little bit of an improvement here. Yeah, they agree. I'll say this next one is wall size. Now this one is going to be the game changer in your house. This is going to benefit you 24/7, 365. Feel this one. And they go, ooh, and that's the sizzle in the bacon. I'm telling you, it gets everybody excited. Everybody is impressed. They want that in their house. And that builds the desire. The price is not so much of an issue, especially, our price point, come on, we're always cheaper pretty much than everybody that's out there. But it builds the desire, and it's going to help you sell more windows. It's going to help you justify your price. Okay, it's a perceived value. Wow, that's going to do that for my house. It's amazing. And right now, more important, it's the glue that's going to hold your deal together for 8 months. So I did a little bit of research in preparing for this morning. Historically, my cancellation rate is right around 1%. And I'm not saying that I'm a guru or I'm better than anybody else. In fact, I consider myself privileged to be one of you, a wallside warrior. I think we've got the best sales team compiled I've ever been a part of. I'm really impressed. I miss us getting together physically for meetings, because it was always a pleasure to see my fellow compatriots and chit chat a little bit. It's an amazing group of salespeople. So, but historically, these are the facts. I've had about a 1% cancellation rate. So I was really curious in preparing for today. Where am I in this whole COVID situation? So I went back to March of last year. So March of 2020 to October now, 2021. And my cancellation rate is still 1%. I was really floored by that. That you're telling me with a 4 month, 5 month, 6 month, 7 month, and now 8 month, wait time, that 99 out of 100 of my jobs are being installed, I'm okay with that. I think that's good. So I'm good with that. And 99% of the jobs I sell have glass breakage on. And so that's just kind of how I roll. Today, everybody knows about price increases. Prices are going up here, they're going up there. I had a small salad, a chicken salad the other day at a Coney, and it was $14. And it was a plate this big. Are you kidding me? $14. So, everybody knows. So I've always used effectively the takeaway close when you can see that either he's excited and she's kind of, yeah, or she's excited and he's kind of, yeah. He's the numbers guy maybe, and she's excited. She felt that heat lamp. She wants those windows. She's tired of the bad windows in her house. So I use the takeaway close, and it's more effective now than it ever has been. So I say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'm going to go ahead and put my gear back in the car. Now, I'll give you a few minutes to talk this over. I would highly recommend that even though we're talking next July, that you get your name in the queue, and that hopefully the supply chain will improve over the next 8 months. We can't predict it, but hopefully it will. And maybe my scheduling department could call and move you up. I can't promise it, but it could happen. But even more importantly, you're locking in at today's price point. You see, we don't know where prices are going to be 8 months from now, especially with the upward pressure on pricing that we're seeing all over the place. So it doesn't matter what prices are going to be next July. They could be 20 or 30% higher than they are right now. You're price protected because you ordered today. Okay? So you think that over, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes. And I'll take my gear and I'll walk on out of the house, and I give them a few minutes, and I come back and I'll tell you what, that close is strong as a bull in a china shop. And you didn't force them. It just appeals to their logic. They know, believe me, they know what's going on. So, everybody wants something for free, basically, right? So we all like free stuff. Come on. My wife and I, my beautiful bride, we went into a Verizon store a couple days ago, and we're both going to get $650 off our phones by trading them in right now. You've seen the ads on TV. So, okay, we haven't upgraded our phones in about 4 years. It's time. So we go in there, and I know I'm being schmoozed. You know what? You're going to get this, and you're going to get this. We're going to charge you for this, and then you're going to get that, and then you're going to get it. But I appreciated the guy's the smoothness in his pitch and the way he did things. He made me feel special, and at the end of the day, we bought the phones. We supposedly were getting $650 off each, and I think I still gave him my credit card for $1,700. So, I'm not sure exactly what I got for free, but I made the purchase. It was a good experience, and I appreciated that his technique. So I kind of use the same thing, and I tell people at some point during the presentation that we appreciate everyone's patience in waiting longer than normal for their windows. I said, so you're going to get a few extra things right now at no additional charge. For example, you're going to get this beautiful flex screen. We're going to give you full screens right now on every window. So you'll be able to open your windows down from the top, up from the bottom, side to side. And when you do clean your windows and tilt them in, you don't have a whole house full of flies, And then, the Marvelite sills, they're yours. Okay, we're going to change out all your window sills for you also. Okay. And then when I'm writing up the job, that's when I bring in the glass breakage. I'll say, and another thing, remember I told you we're giving you something extra right now? We're also going to cover you against any accidental glass breakage for the first 5 years. And they go, ooh, wow, oh, that's nice, thank you. Yeah, everybody likes stuff for free. Now, I'm always over on my jobs. Now, I'm not over trying to rip off a customer. I'm not trying to gouge customers. So, but in our business, you never know what you're gonna run into, okay? There's unforeseen things, believe me, that happen every single day. So recently I had a job go in. In fact, I think Adam is still involved in resolving this one deal. It was back when we were doing some alterations and we were putting the sliding doors in and we were altering the brick and da-da-da-da-da-da. So first of all, it took me about 4 months to sell this job, and very difficult to sell this job. It was 3 visits to the house. It was last winter. I'm in Florida on vacation. They're calling me with questions and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I could tell this guy was a difficult person to deal with, okay? So the PIA factor was really, alarm was going off in my head. So I knew that we were we're potentially gonna have some issues. I didn't expect the issue that we ultimately got, certainly. I wouldn't have sold the job. I would have walked, but I knew that there was potential for problems. Let's just put it that way. So I packed that job, and I packed it $2,500, okay? So I was $2,500 over on that job. And it's a good thing, because when we installed the job, the crew was drilling into the floor, and they drilled into a water pipe, and now water is flooding his basement. And you can think about, all the problems related to that. I hope that we're close to resolving it, or maybe we resolved it by now. But it was good that Adam, in trying to resolve the plumbing bill with the customer, had extra money to work with, okay? Or the crew runs into exterior sill issues that you can't see, or things like that. So things happen all the time. So I'm always over on every job. There really is no need, with our value, with our story, if you sell it, if you represent it the right way, if you take your time and you go through that heat lamp with everyone, and that, there's no need to sell a job short. In fact, if they don't want to buy in that first visit, they have other reasons why. Even if they're comparison shopping, I mean, I just walk. And you know what? I get the majority of them. I get back, because some other salesperson is going to be a typical salesperson and buy now, pressure, and people resist. They don't like it, and you know what? They want to call back the person they were comfortable with. So a key moment also in that heat lamp. I'll get back to that for just a second. When we get to that last bit with our glass, the I-89, and I'm describing it, I kind of step back. I turn the heat lamp off, with a little respect for their electric bill. I turn it off, and then I step back. Body language, you're releasing pressure, right? You're kind of easing, relaxing, and I explain the whole system, the indium coating and everything else that goes into it. But little body language, little skill there in kind of relaxing, diffusing, and telling them a story. I love the heat lamp. This is a key part of why I have been successful all these years. I always prefer to wear a wall side shirt. You probably can't see it because it's dark, and it's dark printing, black printing on a gray shirt right now. Every spring I'll buy 3 or 4 shirts, and I've got an embroidery place in Commerce Township. They charge me $4 a shirt, put the logo on. And I just feel that customer is more comfortable writing a $15,000 check to somebody who's got a company shirt on, and I'm wearing a comfortable pair of blue jeans. I mean, I'm comfortable, but it's representing, and every now and then, it hasn't happened since the whole COVID thing has been going on, but every now and then I'll get somebody to ask me, "Oh, you work for Wallside? I need windows." I mean, I sold Spiro, the manager of a restaurant in Troy, a windows, $16,000 job, just because I walked into his restaurant, had lunch one day, and he saw my shirt. I went over to his house and sold him some windows. So another thing is in the processing department, and I have a lot of respect for our people at Wallside. They're amazing. I know we're going to get through this particular time together, and we're going to find a way to get through this and get back to normal as soon as we can. Michelle, Mark Tyler, Nicole, I mean, everybody at the organization, I've got a lot of respect for. You know, we wake up on a day like today, it's been raining, you know, and you go, oh, well, I'm gonna sell windows in the rain today. Oh boy. But you know, when the sky cries, about 35 deals come back on Mark Tyler and his department's desk, and now he's got to try to reschedule 35 installations because of rain. Imagine that nightmare, trying to navigate that. So I appreciate what you do, Mark. Just keep up the good work there. Everybody at Wallside, I respect you, and we're one big family. And you guys all do a great job, processing department, factory, service, especially. My deals, when I turn them in, I want that deal to be solid. I want it to be sold right. I want it, like I said, 99 out of 100 folders are going to be installed. That's my track record. I also don't want my deals sitting on anybody's desk in the processing department. So when I get a change order, when I get Corrine calling me about a condo approval, anything like that, I pull that copy of the order. It's in my desk at home. I keep a copy myself, and it stays on my visor in my car until that's resolved. And if it's change, if it's condo, I'm calling them weekly. Okay, I'm on it. It's kind of like, you don't want your name and your social on the desk of an IRS agent. I don't want my deals sitting idle on a processing department desk at all. I want my deals to go through smoothly and not to bog down the system. So it's important that we sell windows, obviously, but we want to sell windows the right way so they stick together, and we want to sell them right so they don't bog down the processing department. That's about it. I mean, I think that's about it. It's been an incredible journey for me with Wallside. I absolutely love what we do for a living. I absolutely love the fact, I think it's fascinating that we never know who we're going to be dealing with or what we're going to see when we ring that doorbell. So it's like Joe Coy with a new audience every night on his show. He's got different people in different cities, and he's bouncing off the crowd, and we're bouncing off our customer, and we're adapting our presentation to what's important to them and doing it in the right way. Basically, that's about it. I hope this has been helpful for everyone. I wish everybody continued success. If you have any questions, my cell number, David's got it, the office has got it. You can feel free to give me a call. Be happy to talk to anybody, meet you for a cup of coffee. In fact, want to be the first to wish everybody an upcoming happy, healthy holiday season. All the best. Go sell some windows.